When implementing an EPC, your PHA installs energy or water conservation measures, called ECMs. These measures reduce utility consumption and create savings for your PHA. To maximize savings, the EPC program offers 3 incentives: the add-on subsidy incentive, the frozen rolling base incentive, and the resident paid utility incentive. These incentives are regulatory measures that also ensure EPC savings are measurable and validated by your PHA. This video covers the basics of the frozen rolling base or FRB incentive. To best understand this FRB, we need to first understand what the base is in frozen rolling base. Typically, HUD calculates your utility consumption savings by comparing your current utility consumption to a utility baseline. This utility baseline is the average of the previous 3 years of your utility consumption. Every year, the utility baseline is recalculated as part of HUD's utility subsidy recalculation process. This process creates a rolling utility baseline. However, for PHAs that have installed energy and water conservation measures and already reduced utility consumption, this annual process may limit savings by recalculating the utility baseline using the lower EPC utility consumption. This is where the frozen rolling base incentive can step in to protect and maximize EPC savings for your PHA. For utilities in your EPC using the frozen rolling base incentive, the actual utility consumption for the 3 years prior to installing energy and water conservation measures, or pre-EPC, is averaged to establish a rolling base consumption level. HUD then freezes this utility baseline for the term of your EPC, up to 20 years. Like other EPC baselines, this frozen rolling baseline is subject to allowable adjustments during the EPC approval and implementation phases. So how does freezing your utilities pre-EPC utility baseline benefit your PHA? The point of your PHA installing energy and water conservation measures is to reduce utility consumption and generate cost savings. By freezing the pre-EPC utility consumption, the utility baseline remains at the higher frozen rolling base consumption levels, while the actual current utility consumption is reduced because you installed ECMs. This means that through the term of your EPC project, the lower actual utility consumption will be compared to the higher frozen rolling base consumption level. This difference, once calculated with each year's average utility rate and converted to dollar savings, allows your PHA to maximize EPC savings year after year through the term of your EPC. And to clarify, the frozen rolling base incentive is based on the difference between actual utility consumption and frozen rolling base consumption level. For example, kilowatt hours of electricity, therms of natural gas, and gallons of water, and not on your utility costs. More information on the frozen rolling base incentive calculation can be found in PIH Notice 2024-27. And be aware, the frozen rolling base incentive is subject to the 75% rule, meaning your PHAs must use at least 75% of EPC savings to pay for EPC debt service and eligible project costs. For more information on the 75% rule, see the 75% rule video in this training series and the HUD Public Housing Energy Branch website. It is also important to note that the FRB incentive is subject to EPC incentive principles and reporting requirements outlined in Notice PIH 2024-27. Let's do a quick review of what we covered. The frozen rolling base incentive is one of 3 incentives offered under the EPC program. For utilities using the frozen rolling base incentive, the pre-EPC rolling base consumption level is frozen for the term of the EPC, up to 20 years. By freezing this higher utility baseline, your PHA can take full advantage of the EPC savings generated by reducing energy consumption for the life of your EPC. Thank you for your commitment to energy and water conservation. For more information on the Frozen Rolling Base Incentive and energy performance contracting, please see the other videos in this training series and the HUD Public Housing Energy Branch website. Questions or comments can be directed to PIH Energy Branch at hud.gov.